Good evening and welcome to episode 27 of Red True Diaries. And it's been a long, challenging day. Shortly after I woke up, I found out about the shootings of 9 people in a church in Charleston, South Carolina, where the Confederate flag is still, as far as I know, last I heard, flying at full mast, which generally there's some kind of major killing like that in a city, you would think out of respect they take a flag that represents racism down. Even the national flag is generally flown at half-mast, say after the Columbine shootings or the Sandy Hook shootings. And this is one of the challenges that some people, let's say specifically white men, I'm not blaming any white man, but what I am bringing to the forefront is that when I hear things from white men that say it's not them who enslaved our ancestors or sent the natives to reservations or who are against any foreigners, it doesn't matter if you're that person or not. There are plenty of white men who represent that demographic that do have serious animosity. I mean, this boy was 21 years old. 21. Apparently his dad had just bought him a gun for his 21st birthday. Go dad. Though I'm not blaming his dad. I hope that his dad didn't think that his son had these things in mind. But say on a systemic level, a bureaucratic governmental level, the fact that this flag, a Confederate flag, in a state that is okay with, I think that I've read that they had 19 hate groups in South Carolina. It's 2015. When I first heard Martin Luther King's I Had a Dream speech, it was in 2nd grade and I had to recite it. And it meant so much to me because the majority of my classmates looked black. I identify as black and actually more biracial and multicultural because I know that due to the fairness of my skin that I haven't had similar experiences as those who have appeared more black. So, but I'm not, most people know that I'm not quite white. A lot of people think that I'm Hispanic or Jewish. Well, nope, black, white, and Native American. In any case, when reading Dr. King's speech about being judged by the content of our character, I had that dream at 7 years old too, because even at that age, I was well aware of how people treated me differently, as well as cousins and my own mom. My mom was black. I have no association with my father, so I've only known the black side of my family. And seeing firsthand what it's like to grow up and experience myself being poor, being black, and being a woman in America. It's not fun. There are a lot of hardships. I've learned a lot as a result, and I've grown a lot, and it's made me more loving and compassionate. But let me tell you, when I hear people talk about being colorblind, I'm like, don't be, please. I'm glad that you think that you might not judge people negatively by the color of their skin, which you shouldn't, because it's as random in some ways as, the color of your hair or eyes. I won't say random, but unimportant in terms of anything that you can gauge. Like the content of your character. You get to know a person's character, judge their character based on, say, their reputation, what they're showing and presenting to you in that moment. That speaks a lot more than the color of their skin or their eye color or their hair color, let alone to take someone's life for it. It's just, it's just left me with a very heavy feeling all day. I just can't imagine what it's like for the the friends and families of these people. One of them was a state senator. And just all of a sudden have that personality gone for the rest of your life. There's no going back. And then also to see how the cops have reacted to different people over the past 6 months. There's been plenty of press about arrests that have led to killings, unintentionally or intentionally. The way these suspects were handled and treated was a lot harsher than this 20-year-old white male who had just committed 9 murders was treated. So what I'm about to read regarding the victim and the mother, following on the heels of the previous 2 episodes I've done about the root chakra, is related to this, and I'm going to read a few pages, so I don't care or know how long this is going to take, but sit back, relax, and get comfortable, because it's one of the things that has helped me be able to wrap my mind around such things and be able to not feel paralyzed by them in terms of feeling overwhelmed with sadness or anger or despair or powerlessness. Because when you live in a country, your government and the society of America, when so many don't identify or don't even want to identify with what it's like to be on the lower rungs of the societal ladder of, how people oftentimes, whether they claim they do or not, but many people do, whether they claim to see it or not, a lot of people are judged positively and negatively based on the color of their skin. And it just, there has to be some kind of change, or at least some kind of compassion towards those who are going through these types of treatments. So, at least I hope. All right, so these are the qualities and attributes of the root chakra. Building a structure that supports and sustains our life is a function of the root chakra. If our structures are not stable enough to support us, we may become unsure about our right to want what we want. Cultivating stability while we form the structure of our life helps us to handle change. Security is an aspect of the root chakra that helps us keep focused and grounded. When we don't feel secure, we lose energy, fearing for our existence and wondering whether we will go on. Cultivating a deep sense of inner security helps keep the root chakra functional during uncertainty. The root chakra carries all the qualities of survival from our ancestors. If our people fought to maintain a way of life or to find a better life, their courage and tenacity are part of our genetic heritage. Just as the roots of diseases are transmitted down family lines, so are the spiritual qualities. When we find ourselves in difficult circumstances, we can draw on the qualities our ancestors possessed to see them through. We can tap into courage, cunning, stealth, and a ruthless desire to live. It is in our root chakras. The root chakra controls the fight or flight reaction that triggers the adrenal cortex. This function stimulates the flow of adrenaline into the blood when we are under attack, putting us into survival mood. The root chakra anchors itself to the earth when we are patient, resourceful, and hopeful about our lives. Remaining positive and open to possibilities strengthens the root chakra and allows for stability and inner strength. Anchoring our spirit in reality is the quintessential quality of this chakra. I mentioned in a previous episode, but this is from the Book of Chakras by Abika Waters. And I think this is so important because I know someone like me tends to want to escape, even if it's just mentally, maybe sleep or daydream or have some wine or all of the above, and just not want to focus as much on the material realm and certainly not going to revere it. Because in times like this, it's hard to have reverence and belief in the goodness of life when life can do such harsh things as this, and much harsher. So, this is what Moira has to say about it that I found very interesting and helpful. We all face times in life that challenge our resources and try our patience. Oh, I said this. Yeah. I went through this a little bit yesterday, but it's worth repeating. Okay. Few people are taught to be internally resourceful when things go wrong. Developing our resources comes from living life and experiencing change. A healthy root chakra is buoyant and flexible. It is adaptable and can remain grounded through changes. When people become uprooted from their homes and are forced through circumstances to move elsewhere, they will seek a similar condition to the one they know. Imagine a tree that has grown in a certain climate, in specific soil, with fixed amounts of sun, water, and wind. If you uprooted this tree and tried to plant it elsewhere out of its adaptability zone, it would fail to thrive or would die. People are the same. They need optimal conditions to make successful changes in themselves or their environment. Even though we are an adaptable and mobile culture, when crisis hits, we revert to our basic instincts for survival. Our thoughts turn to shelter, food, water, and warmth. These are fundamental to our lives and come before the realm of comfort, power, love, or ideas. People during times of crisis seek community. They bond with others and reach out in ways previously unknown before they were threatened. Tribal and clan ties sustain people in times of change and help stabilize the root chakra. I like to pause here to say that for those who have questioned why is it okay or why is it more normal to see like minority groups band together, like Women for Women or gays and lesbians, or black people, say the Black Panthers or any type of black group, or what Black Lives Matter, versus say when more white people get together. I'm talking about America specifically, that's a bad thing. And generally it's because white people are the majority. When you're the minority, and especially when you're being threatened by the majority, you want people to help you and to come together and understand what it's like, because the majority oftentimes does not fully understand the minority. So just wanted to clarify that. During normal times, we are able to turn our attention to developing other qualities. When we find ourselves in new situations under different circumstances, our root chakra becomes destabilized and we struggle to maintain both outer and inner equilibrium. At these times, it takes only the slightest upset to send us plummeting into despair. Finding a steady and permanent connection with what is real and true can sustain us through change. Knowing the highest and most eternal truths about the source can sustain us when our grounding is weak and our spirit diminished. Creating a spiritual context in which to place our life experiences is emotionally sustaining. The root chakra contains within its structure the underlying attitudes we have about the nature of life. If our ancestors struggled and found life perilous, we will inherit an underlying belief that life is hard and we must struggle. As the root chakra is affected by war, pestilence, famine, and chaos, all human beings have some level of dysfunction in their root chakras. Few people are truly grounded in a positive and loving sense of life. All of us have been either uprooted or affected by the hardships of life. If not directly, then through our family history. What our ancestors and family members experienced during hard times is a genetic memory we carry within us. Each time we are stressed or feel threatened, we will react from that place within us where we fear the worst, doubt our chances for survival, and feel that we do not have a right to the life we say we want. When we realize that the past has no hold over us, we are free to make our own interpretation of the events in our lives. We are encouraged to try harder, to take a stand for ourselves, and persevere. If the root chakra carries too many constrictions and dictates how we feel life needs to be, then we will be pulled down by the weight of tradition, family values, and religious precepts, which will limit and prescribe how we think things need to be. This is neither adaptable nor essential. We are far more than our family upbringing, our schooling, or our religious beliefs. We are more than our physical body, our emotional stability, and our mental framework about what we think life is. When we expand our consciousness to include the substratum upon which life is based, which is a spiritual consciousness that is eternal, we can be unruffled by the changing tide of events that affect us. When people live exclusively within the root chakra, they are overly attached to land, tradition, home and family, and clan or tribal roots. They do not find their unique individuality or come to express their talents outside the context of these perimeters. When people exist entirely from their root chakras, they are aware only of the petty differences that divide people and nations. They fail to see the bigger picture of one people, one planet. Part of healing the root chakra is to eliminate a sense of difference. We open the root to be an anchor for our spirit and to manifest unity rather than separation. The archetype of the root chakra is the mother. She feeds, nourishes, and provides for our needs. When we honor her, we honor ourselves. Loving and taking care of ourselves is how we become our own good mother. Learning to listen and trust our needs and paying attention to what is good, wholesome, and nourishing for us keeps us grounded. This helps release the negative from our lives and live simply, honestly, and with integrity. Healing our roots is learning that we can do more than our parents did and be more than they were able to be. We broaden our scope and expand our possibilities so that life grows rather than narrows. In essence, we become the best we can be by developing the inner qualities that the root chakra stands for so that we can adapt, make changes, and live creatively. Thank you for watching and listening. I love you.